As autumn arrives, our homes can become cozy retreats filled with rustic charm and vintage beauty. Today, we'll explore farmhouse fall decorating ideas that bring together natural textures, muted colors, and timeless accents. From weathered wood to warm candlelight, let's turn your home into a nostalgic haven that celebrates the best of fall. Farmhouse decor is all about simplicity, warmth, and character. With autumn's arrival, this style shines brightest, offering opportunities to highlight textures like wood, burlap, linen, and aged metals. The key is to balance old-world pieces with seasonal accents, creating a home that feels both lived in and carefully curated. Start with your entryway. A rustic bench draped with plaid blankets, a woven basket of pumpkins, and a weathered wooden sign instantly signal the cozy farmhouse vibe. Add vintage lanterns and maybe a bundle of dried wheat tied with twine. This small space sets the tone for the rest of your home. porch is the ideal canvas for fall decorating. Stacks of pumpkins in varied shapes, galvanized tubs filled with mums, and an old wooden ladder for hanging scarves or wreaths create a welcoming look. A neutral farmhouse wreath on the door, accented with pine cones and burlap, makes the first greeting unforgettable. One of the hallmarks of farmhouse design is vintage finds. Think of old milk cans repurposed as planters, distressed picture frames, or antique lanterns. These items, when paired with autumn elements like acorns or fall foliage, tell a story of history and homeliness while adding layers of rustic charm. The fall farmhouse palette embraces warm neutrals, soft browns, creamy whites, and touches of burnt orange or mustard yellow. Instead of bold reds, lean into muted shades that feel time-worn and gentle. Layering these tones across textiles, accents, and wall decor ensures your home exudes calm, rustic warmth. Your living room is where farmhouse style shines. Add chunky knit throws on a linen sofa, place woven baskets filled with firewood by the hearth, and use reclaimed wood trays to display candles. Layer textures, from wool pillows to burlap runners, to encourage family and friends to linger longer. The Fireplace mantle is an iconic centerpiece in fall decorating. Drape garlands of dried leaves, stack rustic candlesticks, and center an antique clock or distressed mirror above. Adding heirloom pumpkins or vintage books ties together rustic charm with the warmth of autumn traditions, creating a picture-perfect focal point. The kitchen thrives on farmhouse fall accents. Display copper pots, wooden cutting boards, and ceramic pitchers filled with seasonal flowers. Hang linen towels in plaid or gingham patterns for subtle autumn hints. A bowl of freshly picked apples or pears can become both a delicious snack and rustic decor element. A farmhouse dining table calls for natural simplicity. Layer a burlap runner, scatter mini pumpkins, and add mismatched candlesticks. Use enamelware or vintage china for added charm. A centerpiece of dried eucalyptus in a weathered jug brings farmhouse authenticity while inviting family and friends to sit and savor the season. Extend farmhouse coziness into the bedroom. Soft flannel sheets, plaid throws, and neutral-toned quilts make the space feel seasonally inviting. Add a reclaimed wood headboard or distressed side tables to emphasize rustic character. Small accents like dried lavender bouquets or flickering lanterns complete the autumn farmhouse sanctuary. bathrooms can embrace autumn farmhouse style. Swap regular towels for earthy-hued linens, add a mason jar filled with seasonal branches, and place a wooden tray by the sink with amber soap dispensers. These subtle touches transform a small space into a rustic and relaxing seasonal escape. Farmhouse design thrives on textiles. Introduce plaid, gingham, and herringbone patterns in blankets, table linens, and pillows. Opt for natural fabrics like cotton, wool, and linen to ground the look. Each layer not only adds warmth but also enhances the rustic, homey aesthetic that autumn farmhouse decor is all about. Lighting can transform a space into a cozy retreat. Lantern-style fixtures, Edison bulbs, and candle sconces fit beautifully with farmhouse decor. Add string lights on a porch or soft candles on tables to amplify warmth. The goal is to create a golden glow that echoes autumn sunsets. Instead of fresh summer flowers, autumn farmhouse decor embraces dried arrangements. Wheat bundles, cotton stems, and eucalyptus sprigs add texture and rustic appeal. Place them in galvanized buckets, vintage pitchers, or wooden crates. Their understated charm mirrors the fading beauty of nature while complementing farmhouse simplicity. Every vintage farmhouse home tells a story. Scour flea markets and thrift shops for old scales, enamel signs, or wooden crates. When styled with pumpkins, pine cones, or plaid textiles, these antique treasures become conversation pieces that deepen the sense of nostalgia and history in your fall farmhouse home. Blank walls are an opportunity for farmhouse creativity. Consider hanging distressed wooden frames, repurposed barn windows, or woven baskets. Seasonal wall hangings made from burlap or hand-painted wooden signs with autumn sayings also add personality. These elements tie your rooms together with rustic, vintage authenticity. Whether it's the coffee table or dining table, a centerpiece anchors the space. A wooden dough bowl filled with gourds, pine cones, and faux greenery is a timeless farmhouse staple. Add aged candlesticks or a simple lantern in the middle. The key is balance, natural textures with vintage-inspired accent. Used nooks in your home and transform them with fall farmhouse decor. A wicker chair draped in plaid, a side table with vintage books, and a lantern glowing nearby create a cozy corner for reading. These small touches enhance the overall farmhouse feel without overwhelming the space. Farmhouse style celebrates handmade charm. Create DIY wreaths from grapevine and burlap, paint mason jars in muted fall shades, or craft a rustic wooden sign with autumn phrases. These projects not only save money but also add personal character to your farmhouse decor, making it truly one of a kind. indoors. Line garden paths with lanterns, add hay bales topped with pumpkins, or use old wheelbarrows as planters. A rustic farmhouse look outdoors creates continuity and extends cozy charm to every corner of your home, greeting neighbors and visitors with seasonal farmhouse style. Decorating isn't just about visuals, scent matters too. Light candles with pumpkin, cinnamon, or apple fragrances. Simmer a pot of spiced cider on the stove for a welcoming aroma. These sensory touches make your farmhouse decor not only beautiful but also emotionally comforting and tied deeply to autumn tradition. A successful farmhouse makeover blends timeless charm with practical modern touches. For instance, pair a rustic reclaimed table with sleek farmhouse-style chairs. Add vintage accents while keeping spaces functional with modern storage. This mix ensures your home feels authentically rustic yet fresh, never cluttered or outdated. need to spend a fortune for a farmhouse fall look. Use thrifted finds, DIY crafts, and nature's own resources like pine cones and branches. A little creativity with layering textures and reusing items in new ways goes a long way. Farmhouse decor is more about creativity than cost. Farmhouse Fall Makeover blends vintage charm, rustic textures, and autumn warmth into every room. By layering textiles, adding antique accents, and using natural elements, your home transforms into a timeless seasonal retreat. Remember, Farmhouse Fall decor isn't about perfection, it's about creating cozy spaces where memories are made.